So I actually didn't even start as a flight attendant earlier. I went to college for neuroscience and philosophy. I was gonna do the brown girl thing of going to med school or grad school, and that didn't really pan out. I got my first research job, and I was like, I hate my life. Like, I hate the Monday to Friday. I didn't want to like be in person every single day doing the same stuff. And I did love it. I did love research as a whole, but that's not the lifestyle I wanted to live. So I like frustrated applied, like rage applied to be a flight attendant, and somehow I got the job. And then first day in the job, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna travel the world. I love planes. This is so cool. And then I was talking to these pilots, and there were two women pilots too. The captain and the first officer were both women. And they were like, hey, if you like flying so much, why don't you just become a pilot? And I was like, wait, why didn't I think of that earlier? So then I started taking flight lessons on the side, became a flight instructor, so I started teaching other people how to fly, and then I got my airline job, and yeah, now I fly jets. There's a lot I love about my job. One, I think it is truly the love of my life. It is the most meditative experience I've ever had. When I'm flying, it's like the whole world just disappears and I'm just there. And it's one of the most grounding experiences of my life. I love the fact that it's a unionized job, it's contractual, and for other people who are pro-union, it's great because there's an industry-wide standard. So your pay and everything is negotiated on your behalf by a whole group of lawyers. So you don't have to like argue with your company, or you know you're not getting the short end of the stick because there's a group of people fighting for you. I love that you can blacklist your coworkers too if you don't like somebody. Like, you just never have to fly with them again. It's just you and one other person. So it's really nice. I like also being a part of the representation. Like, airlines or aviation as a whole is a very old white man field, and so it's really refreshing to be in a terminal and someone come up to me and tell me that they love seeing me there, or they love, like, little kids will always come up, I was telling you earlier, and they're like, oh my God, a girl pilot. And it's a really cool like experience to be. I love being a representation for other people that I didn't have growing up. Yeah, and mostly I just like love the joy of flying to work. So I just sit there at the airport waiting for like a pilot to not make it. If they don't, then I jump in and then I use that flight. So that's kind of like what my day would look like. Sometimes it's a one long flight, sometimes it's like 5 30-minute flights. So it really depends on day to day. But it always starts with checking the plane, making sure it's physically in good condition, it's like electrically, whatever, in good condition, if the plane is programmed well, and then people board, we get our clearances, we design our route, and then we get out there. We do get a lot of dispatch, so the good thing in airlines is that a lot of the paperwork is done for you. Honestly, I just like show up there and I just fly the plane type of thing. So that's the good part. And then the best part about this world is, depending on like how much of a work-life balance you want, once I step off that plane, I don't think about work because there's nothing to think about. Before I step onto the plane, there's nothing to think about. So, and my off time is protected. So if the company calls me on my off time, it resets my off clock. So that means my off time is sacred, it's protected. So that's why like the day-to-day looks really good.
And how long is the classes and school?
So you don't need to go to college for this career at all. You just need flight training and you need to get all your licenses. Up until recently, most major airlines had a college requirement, which now they did away with because there is a pilot shortage going on right now. So if any of you is interested, the next 10 years is predicted to be really short on pilots. And it is one of those careers that comes in waves. So if you don't catch the wave, the next wave will be like 30 years later. Not to say you can't do other things, and this is just for airlines. There are so many more flying careers you can do. You can do wildlife surveys. You can fly for private people. You can be like Taylor Swift's pilot. You can do a lot of like rescue missions. You can do medical evacuation. So there's a lot of if flying is your passion, there will be careers to do flying. But airlines as a whole is very economy based. So if the economy is doing good, you'll get a lot of airline jobs. Otherwise, it kind of like lulls down. So go to college as a backup.